It's the middle of the night, and it's Sunday. Do you know what that means? It means it's time for the New York Times to admit their bombshell story was totally fecal matter. That's right. They've got nothing. Oh, but it gets better. It gets so much better. Hello, and welcome to the Tea Party Hardy channel, where the party is just getting started. Current events looked at through a skeptical eye using science, history, and sometimes humor to explore the events of the day. Let's get down to business. The New York Times updates Kavanaugh bombshell to note accuser doesn't recall the alleged assault. That's right. The person that supposedly had something happen to them is like, I don't know what you people are talking about. Much like every single person who knew Miss Ballsy Ford, whatever her name is. It's not worth remembering, sorry, that absolutely no one could remember what she remembered either. But that's okay, the New York Times covered it. The New York Times suddenly made a major revision to a supposed bombshell piece late Sunday, we're talking really late, concerning a resurfaced allegation of sexual assault by Supreme Court Justice Bret Kavanaugh. Hours after virtually all 2020 Democrat presidential candidates had cited the original article as a reason for the impeachment of Kavanaugh. Now, when they wake up Monday morning, will they feel any remorse? Will they feel any shame? Will they apologize? Well, they haven't apologized for the hearings that they led that were full of nothing but shamism. And my question is this. I face it with Rotten Tomatoes. I face it with New York Times. I face it with CBS, PBS? Yeah, it is PBS, isn't it? I told you, late Sunday night. All of these people got the Russia hoax wrong. From the very beginning, they all knew there was zero evidence. And they kept going. And I don't know about you, but I personally am so sick of people on the left calling Fox News fake news when it's their side that gets it wrong over and over and over. And Fox News kind of really doesn't. Are they perfect? No. But this is ridiculous. It was in the book that they pulled the article from. Throughout the day on Sunday, Kamala Harris, remember her from the Kavanaugh hearings? She was despicable. Elizabeth, she put together an edited tape to make it look like he said the opposite thing of what he did say. She was despicable. She hasn't changed her stripes. She's still despicable. Elizabeth Warren. You might know Elizabeth Warren. She's the one that pretended to be an Indian all those years. Bernie Sanders. You might know Bernie Sanders. He's the one that pretended to be alive all those years. Beto O'Rourke. Oh, please, somebody swat that fly. Please, please swat that fly. And the funny thing is, after he said that they're absolutely going to come and take your guns, now they're saying, somebody please, please swat that fly. Cory Booker, Spartacus, he needs no further introduction. And Julian Castro, Mr. Elder Abuse, Julian Castro, among others, declared that Kavanaugh must be impeached, citing the allegation. Because once again, who the frick needs evidence on their side? Do you remember when Lindsey Graham said, God help us if you people ever get power? Well, if you live in California, you already know what that's like, because they do have power in California. The New York Times also did not mention that Steers' work as Clint Steers, the author of the book, that Steers' work as a Clinton defense attorney, or that Steers' legal battles with Kavanaugh during the Whitewater investigation, and simply called him an respected thought leader. I don't even know what a respected thought leader is. There's so many, ridiculous words out there now. The book notes quietly, I don't even know how a book would note loudly, but whatever. However, the Times article also conspicuously did not mention that, what's with these names? Prograbin and Kelly's book found that the female student in question had denied any knowledge of the alleged episode. The book notes quietly, again, I don't know how a book notes anything quietly, or loudly, or even medium tone, that the woman Max Stier named as having been supposedly victimized by Kavanaugh and friends denies any memory of the alleged event, observed Molly Hemingway. Omitting these facts from the New York Times story is one of the worst cases of journalistic malpractice that I can recall, wrote the National Journal Review's Washington correspondent John McCormick on Twitter. Yeah, but let's face it, it's stacked on such a large pile of journalistic malpractice. And it just leaves one to wonder. Again, I'm going to compare it to Rotten Tomatoes. After Rotten Tomatoes' fiasco with the movie Captain Marvel, where they rigged the whole system to protect Captain Marvel, and after the New York Times has had quite a few incidents in a row here, how is it that people turn to them with any credibility at all? And how do we, who are insulted with the Fox News as fake news, how do we retaliate against them in a non-violent way? Because obviously, if we're going to do the fantasy sequence that you see in the movies, we would grab their hair, shove their face in the New York Times and in a television screen that's MSNBC and say, "This is what fake news looks like. This is what fake news is." And then you pull them back, you put Fox News on them, and you say, "This is what news looks like, and this is what opinion looks like." Now, to be clear, if you really want to get straight news on Fox, you go to the ones they tell you to go to. And that would be Bret Baier on Special Report, and that would be the last one, Fox News at Night. Those are the two shows that are straight up news. Nothing fancy, nothing weird, except for that roulette thing they do during the elections on Bret Baier, but that's a different story. Alright, this video doesn't need to be any longer. Have they no shame? No, they don't. Do the people that insult those who watch Fox News have any shame? No, they do not. Do all those presidential candidates who once again stuck their foot in their mouth, trusting the New York Times, who they shouldn't be trusting in the first place for obvious reasons, do they have any shame? No, they don't. We hope you enjoyed the content, and if you did, feel free to like, subscribe, come on back anytime. You're always welcome here as part of the family, and we'll see you in the future.